On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Maroons coach Billy Slater reveals his Queensland Origin squad for series opener. The Fish to be rubbed out after coming back from injury for the New Zealand Warriors. And in Super League, Wakefield go back-to-back at the expense of Wembley-bound Warrington. But first up, Billy Slater has unveiled his Queensland squad in the run-up to the State of Origin series opener next week in Brisbane. At fullback for the Maroons, Kalen Ponga from Newcastle, the wingers Xavier Coates and Valentine Holmes from the Storm and Dragons respectively. In the centres, Robert Toya from the Roosters and the Hammer, Hamiso Tumbawai-Fido from the Dolphins. At number 6, Cameron Munster from Melbourne, and feeding the scrums in the number 7 shirt from Manly, the veteran himself and also captain still, Daly Cherry Evans. The front row for Queensland, Mo Fotuaika from the Gold Coast, Harry Grant from Melbourne, and Tino Fa'asu-Malawi from the Gold Coast. In the second row, the two Cowboys, Ruben Cotter and Jeremiah Nane, and locking the scrum from the Broncos, Pat Carrigan. On the bench for Queensland, Tom Dearden from the Cowboys, Lindsay Collins from the Roosters, Beau Firma from the Gold Coast, Melbourne's Trent Liero, Bulldogs player Kurt Mann, Jesse Arthurs from Brisbane, and last but not least, Kulikefu Fine Fuiaki from the Dolphins. In Clubland, suspension awaits Warriors strike forward James Fisher-Harris after he copped a high tackle charge in his first NRL game back from injury. The Fish charged with a Grade 2 careless high tackle on Harrison Graham in the 77th minute of Saturday's match against the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. He'll be suspended for one game if he enters an early guilty plea. Should Fisher-Harris fight the charge and be found guilty by the panel, he'll miss 2 matches. Also charged out of the weekend's action, Manly's Ruben Garrick for Grade 1 dangerous contact and Cronulla's Sifa Talakai for a Grade 1 careless high tackle. Garrick and Talakai to be fined $1,000 each if they enter an early guilty plea. And Bulldogs captain Stephen Crichton was charged with dangerous contact but will be available for New South Wales on the basis that he also enters an early guilty plea. In the UK, there's increasing pressure on Super League basement side Salford Red Devils. That's after Castleford Tigers flogged them 48-16 after leading 24-0 at half-time. At the Jungle, a superb performance from Aussie import Tex Hoy, who scored 3 tries and was also involved in 3 others. But the biggest talking point of the Sunday action was Wakefield's home victory over Wembley-bound Warrington. 40 points to 10 it was for Wakey, who led 18-10 at the break and kept Warrington scoreless in that second half. And by the way, that's the first time that Daryl Powell's team has won back-to-back games since coming back up to Super League. Outside the top flight, the 2021 1895 Cup winners are going back to Wembley, with Featherston Rovers easily winning their semi-final. Fev romping home 40 points to 14 at Oldham after leading 18-0 at half-time. And in the semi-final at York, as heard live and free here on rugbyleague.com, the Knights defeating the visiting Bradford Bulls 28 points to 20 after leading 10-4 at half-time. In League 1, North Wales 74-0 over tackle-shy Newcastle. The Crusaders up 36-zip at the break as that shocking season continues for the Thunder. And finally, in Women's Super League, Leigh 42, Barrow 10 and Warrington 30, Huddersfield 40. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.